Neal and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk with Attorney Daryl O'Neal on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neal. I'm your host.
Ooh, get your tongue straight, brother.
I got my main
tongue
man.
tied, man.
You got my main man Jerome with me.
What's up, Daryl?
What's up, man?
It's been so long since we've been on, man. We missed a couple of weeks, haven't we?
Well, I was in the middle, I can, Angel don't hit me that fast,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can just catch myself.
I
And then
got
when she
you.
got me this time.
I got you.
So I wasn't on track.
I got you.
So anyway, welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neal. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome.
What's
with
up,
me.
Daryl?
So, Jerome, let's give our, hold on. If you got Fire Stick, Roku TV, Apple TV, the SVP TV network app, you can watch us, or, wait a minute, I forgot. Facebook Live or YouTube Live.
Oh, wow.
You can watch us, and if you got any questions or concerns regardless of what they are, you can call us and ask us, and we'll answer those questions right on the air.
Oh, wow, man.
It don't matter what topic we're talking about, whatever you want to talk about, we'll answer those questions.
Absolutely.
So let's give out some shout outs, man. Shout outs to, we way west in California
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Little Rock, Arkansas. Shout out to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout out to Memphis, Shelby County. Wife, kids, family.
Yeah.
Shout out to
All inclusive.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
And shout out to the great state of Missouri.
All right.
So, Jerome, we want to talk about, we want to pick another topic today.
Okay.
And Jerome, this is the topic that is near and dear to my heart, and it's estate planning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My issue has always been and always is that people that look like us, Jerome, we don't prepare for either the afterlife or if we're gonna get sick.
Now, wait a minute. We prepare for the afterlife. That's what the church service is all about. Every Sunday morning we're there looking to go to heaven.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about heaven.
Right.
Everybody want to die. So in order to transfer to the afterlife, you must go through something called death.
Yeah.
It's unpleasant.
And I like what Jerome said. And here's what I mean. If you go to somebody that look like us and say, hey, do you have a will? Man, I don't need to be talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Because most people believe that I ain't gonna never die.
Yeah.
I mean, so that becomes the issue. That
Yeah.
I don't believe I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
So why do I need to do a will? Or hey, you need to do a power of attorney. Man, I ain't sick, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But we don't know when those things are going to happen.
That's for sure.
And that's why we prepare for those things in the future. Because look, if you know when you're going to die, I need you to pick me some lottery tickets. Because even though I don't even gamble, if you know when if you can predict when you're going to get sick or when you're going to die, I want to know because you are that person.
You're a good one.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, Jerome. So
okay. Now, let me just set it up for a little bit for a minute. Okay, so this is exactly the right time, and you are exactly at the right place.
Right.
Because you got 50 years of experience at the table. And so here we are now in the third month of the year.
Right.
So now, we've had Christmas, and so you went out and spent a lot of money at Christmas time.
Right.
And so you also probably could have gone into your retirement or some other things in order to finance your Christmas. But the question becomes is, your family is now dependent upon you for their survival. So how do you put stuff in place to ensure that it won't be that hard to do?
Oh man, you did set that up, man. I ain't even see all of that, man. But think about it, Jerome. There's two things. I need something that tells people what to do
Yes.
while I'm alive.
Yes.
I need something to tell people what I want to be done when I die.
That's awesome there. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So in other words, you need some directives.
Yeah. So I need a voice in life, and I
Yes.
need a voice in death.
Perfect.
And the thing about it is, you know, if you got that kid that ain't never done nothing right, and he trifling is trifling gonna get, and then all of a sudden you believe when you die, somehow that kid is gonna make all the right decisions,
Not gonna happen.
you are stuck on stupid.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, here's what happens in my office, Jerome. I have a substantial number of cases that are contested cases,
Uh-huh.
where people are fighting over a house, where people are fighting over access from somebody's death, because mama didn't leave a will or daddy didn't leave a will,
Right.
and so they all gonna do whatever they're gonna do, and they trying to get it all.
Right. Right.
And so that's the reason why you have to have a will, because you got to tell them what to do.
And there, it's sad, but it's like, you know, we see the picture of buzzards start to circling whenever somebody gets really ill. Well, when they say, well, how mama doing? They really don't really care how mama's doing. They just want to know, is she at the point of death? So they can start circling around.
It's
It's sad.
Now that's a hell of an analogy. I ain't never heard that one. You know,
It's sad.
you know, when you're sick or getting close to it,
Yes.
the family members that are like your buzzards,
Yes.
flying around waiting on you to die, so
Yes.
they can figure out what are your bones they can pick off.
And that has to be the case, because as soon as somebody passes away, somebody rushes to the house
Yeah.
and start taking stuff.
You're right. They do.
Am I lying there?
No.
All right.
It happens every day.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got a story. The other thing, though, Jerome, is tough, man, is, you know, if I am alive and I get sick all of a sudden,
Yes.
how do I make sure things happen?
That's great.
I mean, and let me just tell you, I'm in really good shape, you know, but my wife has a power of attorney on me. Because today I'm good, man, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, Derek. It could be later on this evening. You know,
Dude, it could be in a few minutes on this. We'll be on the show while we're talking.
That's
man.
exactly right.
Yeah, no, you know, tomorrow's not promised
That's
to anybody. So to sit
exactly right.
around and, you know, believe that, you know, everything is going to happen a certain way, that's just being unrealistic. So let's talk about a power of attorney.
Okay. So there are at least two types of power of attorneys.
Right.
And in the legal world, we reduce those to like initials, POA,
Yeah.
and then we do a POA with.
Yeah.
So the one is the power of attorney, and the other is the power DPOA is a durable power of attorney, and then there's even something else too there.
Well, yeah,
it's called a living will, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so yeah, living will is, so there's a couple of them, and I'm glad you hit that off.
Okay.
So you have, the most common that I do for people is a durable power of attorney.
That's right.
Because it gives you and that's what it means. It's durable.
Right.
It gives you the freedom to mold this power of attorney to where you want it to
Yes.
The other one is they have a general power of attorney.
Yes.
And a general power of attorney is, I'm going to limit the rights that you're going to have.
Exactly.
And, you know, there's only going to be specific things in there.
Exactly.
And then, or it's general or limited. You
Right.
can do a limited
That's-
or a general power.
exactly.
You know, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
But then you also have what they call a healthcare power of
That's
attorney.
exactly right.
It has nothing to do with anything other than healthcare.
That's right.
But you can still take a healthcare stuff and put it inside that durable power of attorney. That's what makes it so durable.
Okay,
Because you
yeah.
can put that inside of it.
Okay.
You're not supposed to put it in a limit or a general because it doesn't have that flexibility. That's why it's not called durable. It's general or limited. you
Gotcha.
know. Then the other one that you have is that healthcare power of attorney. You don't want to put anything else in that one other than healthcare.
That's right.
And so a healthcare attorney a power of attorney is, so you know, Jerome, you got some medical issues or you don't have medical issues.
Right.
But you want somebody to, like, you know, we say, and you know this just like I, that you can be a DNR.
That's right.
It's called do not resuscitate.
That's right.
So the only way you can have that in is you have some kind of document that says, I don't want to be put on life support. Do not resuscitate me.
That's right.
Leave me alone. So they call it a DNR.
That's right.
And you got to have a document that let people know that that's what you want. So you can do that in a healthcare power of attorney.
And also there, you can have that somewhat restricted too.
Yeah.
Catch it?
Oh, absolutely.
So do not resuscitate if there's no way I'm going to be able to. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I only need oxygen, or you see what I'm saying? If I only need, don't put a plug on me if I just need oxygen, or if I just need a transfusion.
Right.
And then you can also say some people who don't believe in transfusion,
Right.
maybe Jehovah's Witnesses or so,
Right.
do not transfuse me.
Right.
So it's an innumerable amount of things that can be accomplished by doing it. And that's why you need a professional
Right.
to sit down with you so you can sort it out.
Right.
It's just too complicated to go to Lowe's or Office Depot.
No, it ain't Lowe's. It's all, yeah. It's too complicated to go to two places.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I say this every time we talk.
You should do.
Google is
You
the worst
should do.
lawyer that I know. So if your law and your stuff is going through Google, and look, let me just tell you, Google
is that worse than the jailhouse lawyer? Is that worse than the shade tree? Google may be just a little bit step higher.
It may be. It may not be the worst.
Okay.
But I mean, and I will tell you now, Google is a good starting.
And that's
place.
what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, Google. You can use Google to put you in a neighborhood.
Yes.
Because there's just so much information that you can find. And Google does compile. They actually have a thing called. I don't know if you knew this, called Google Scholar.
Yeah, you introduced me to it.
Yeah. And you can do legal research.
Yeah,
that.
you
It's a
introduced me to
law, research. But
Yeah.
again, but it's not something because it doesn't shepherdize.
Right.
And that's a legal thing that we use. But it gives you all the cases that may go up and down that's been cited to what a particular case.
Right.
But it doesn't tell you that this case has been overruled.
Right.
Or this case is still good law
Right.
or bad law.
Right.
So that's the problem with the Google Scholar thing. But it's man, I tell you, I use that. I had Westlaw and Fast Case and other stuff,
Yeah.
and I kicked that to the side and use it because it's fast.
Yes.
It's fast.
Yeah.
Because Google, that search engine for Google, it sets it up that way.
Yeah.
So you got that healthcare power of attorney. Again, you identify what your healthcare needs are. You identify, okay, I'm going into surgery to have a kidney transplant.
And there, you know what, it's because you worked in the hospital, you were EMT. I'm a registered nurse. I also worked in the ER, and I also was a chemo certified nurse. But it's impossible to count the number of people who went in for surgery for just a routine day surgery, supposed to be going home tonight.
And man, that number got called, man. So yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole point of it. You want to make sure that when you do that healthcare power of attorney, the way that sets everything up is that sets it up that I'm giving specificity.
That's right.
On what it is that I want to happen.
That's exactly right.
In the event of a healthcare crisis. Right. Period.
Right. Right.
I mean, and that's a good thing.
And the thing about it too, as soon as that moment of time passes, then it's no longer in effect.
Right.
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 Or like we say all the time too, there, you just what?
You did. And I'm gonna get there.
Okay. I know where you're headed.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Okay.
And then the second one is that limited or general power attorney. So say for instance, you just want somebody to go and sign documents before you got to close.
Yeah.
That's all I need you to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a power of attorney to do that. Or I just want you to go pay this bill.
Right.
Nothing else. I'm gonna give you a limited power of attorney to make that thing happen.
Right. Right.
A durable power of attorney is that next one. And that's the one that you and I I really like the durable power. And matter of fact, out of every one of them, even healthcare, that's the one that I use in my practice.
In fact, it encompasses everything that we just talked about, right?
And I've used it that way.
Right.
I've actually used the durable power of attorney, and I put all kinds of stuff in.
Right.
I'm giving the kitchen sink.
Right.
Because I'm trying to get my client when I'm doing that durable power of attorney, I'm trying to make sure that my client is set up for the duration.
Exactly.
You know, that they don't have any issues
Exactly.
about what they're going to lose or what they're going to gain.
Exactly.
You know, can they get their bills paid? Can they get their accounts taken care of? That's not going to be an issue if you got a durable power.
And take my word for it, inevitably they're going to run across somebody who calls themselves scrutinizing the responsibilities and rights in your power of attorney. So make sure that it covers what it is that the worst thing in the world is to have a document that does not do
that serves no purpose. You know, spent money for it. And let me just tell you, you know, there's only one person that's cheaper than me on a power of attorney and a will, a basic will, and that is LegalZoom.
Okay.
But I submit to you, that's not what you want.
That's not what you want to do, though.
But because my office, when we do power attorneys and wills, we don't even do it to make money.
Right.
You know,
that's good. Darryl.
I mean, my consultation fee
That's good, Darryl.
My consultation
It's
fee
$100 still today.
It's been that way since almost the inception of my practice.
My goodness.
But that's my consultation fee.
Wow.
For me to do a power of attorney, it's $150.
Oh my goodness.
So you getting a consultation and a document prepared.
Wow.
So, and my will start off about that same price.
Wow.
Just a basic will. Now, if you got more, the more you have in there, the more I got to do. The more
the phone. Yeah.
The more I have to do, the more that I'm going to have. It's going to cost.
Right. Of course. Of course.
So I got a question here. You got a question, Jerome? Question says, and this is happening, y'all. Look at that.
Look at that.
We're talking about a topic. We just stop.
Yes.
And answer questions. I bought a house and put my girlfriend on the deed, but she's not on the mortgage. I would like to sell the house and move, but she doesn't want to. What can I do? Oh my God.
I'm shaking my head.
Man, you got problems. You got bad problems. So here's what happens, and most people don't know this. So he's violated his mortgage already.
I'm trying to. Well. The question becomes: did he do it at the time of purchase, or did he do it later on?
No, he did.
Because, like you said, he's violating the terms of the mortgage if he did it afterwards.
Yeah. I would bet money he did it after.
Oh my goodness.
Because I get that he said I bought a house, and then I put my.
Then I put her on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that says to me that he bought the house in his name. He's got a mortgage in his name, and then he deeded a 50% interest to his house.
Okay.
To his girlfriend.
So contained within that mortgage, that language, there's a clause in it that says any transfers in this mortgage is a grounds for default.
Yeah, you accelerate the mortgage.
So you defaulted, and then the mortgage is accelerated.
Yeah.
So the entire amount is due.
Yeah. So if the mortgage company so here's the luckiest thing he has. Most mortgage companies are trifling. They don't check the stuff. They don't care. You know, the vast majority.
Unless they have a reason.
And unless you try to refinance.
Right, yeah, you're trying to.
Or you do some other stuff, then they're going to figure it out. But other than that, they're not paying attention.
But there's the thing about it though, and that's what we do. I started to say we're the cleanup people, but we are the fix-it people.
Yeah.
That can be fixed. It can be fixed by not recording.
Yeah, but that's done. That ship is. I guarantee.
He didn't record. He just put her on. He didn't record.
No, he recorded.
Oh.
He recorded. He don't know any different. I mean, that's something
that's strike two.
Yeah, that's something that we know.
Okay.
So, because one of the things, and he recorded, she doesn't want to. He wants to sell his house and move, and she doesn't want to.
Oh, okay.
So that tells you what he's done, because it shows that it's him and her on the house.
That's right. Okay.
And here's what he's done. And say hypothetically, if she decided to, anyway, I don't want to say this, but the mortgage and the loan are not together. They're separate.
That's right.
The loan is his responsibility 100%.
Right.
The actual house itself she's a 50% owner.
Right.
Or whatever percentage he gave her. She's an owner of that house. So he can't even sell it without her permission. He can't sell it. He can't there's a question of whether or not he can even I guess if he refinanced it, he would have to buy her out. And she's not even on a loan. So I mean, this right here,
It's a problem.
this is almost the worst
scenario you could possibly have.
Almost the worst scenario you could be in. And the thing about it is, if you're going to do something as detrimental, I call it detrimental.
Well, think about it too. Think about it. Okay, so you're in love. You've pledged your loyalty one to another, and so, and it happens all the time. Where the female is testing the guy's love by saying, if you don't put me on the house, then that proves you don't love me.
Yeah, well, I don't love you. Now, wife is different. Yeah, yeah, and we'll answer that question.
Yeah, right.
Wife is different.
It sure is because it's deemed.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, anyway, so the door is closed on that, huh? Bruh's in trouble.
Bruh's in big trouble.
In big trouble.
And the thing about it is, the question is, if you don't love me, you won't put me on a house.
Right.
That's not the right question.
Right.
If you don't marry me, if you don't marry me, you don't love me.
Okay.
Because that's the better question.
That's the better
question. It's not if you don't love me, you're not gonna put me on a house.
Right.
If you don't marry me, then you don't love me.
Then you don't love me. Okay.
Because then this becomes your wife.
Right. Okay.
And then you can put your wife on there. Now she's still not gonna. Now the mortgage and the land ownership still stays the same.
That's right.
Your wife becomes 50% owner of it, but she doesn't have any mortgage responsibilities.
Well, so the next question is, what happens if you buy a house, you are already married, but you don't put your wife on there?
She's 50% owner.
Because of something called tenants by the entirety in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So if a property is purchased by a married person, it's deemed to be tenants by the entirety, which makes them, well, not 50% owners.
No.
Actually, 100%.
Yeah,
each one has 100% ownership, right?
Joint tenants with the right of survivorship.
Right.
It's what we normally say.
That's exactly right, yeah.
And it's funny you say that, Jerome, but I think it's just some things you can do afterwards. You can't do them prior to,
I'm listening.
I think there's a rule. You can sever the tenants by the entirety, but what you have to do is, I just did the research on this recently. You can sever the tenancy by the entirety. It has to be like an open disclosure or open waiver. You can go in there and the question is, you can actually quit claim deed your ownership away from that spouse. Because then that means that you put in writing that I'm waiving my interest to my other spouse.
I see. That's what you're saying.
And I may not be. I'm not articulating it.
No, I just had to grip it because it's voluntary.
It's voluntary.
So you can just about contract anything you want to. Yeah.
Now I don't think you can do that premarital. I mean, I'm sorry, not premarital. I don't think you can do that pre-buy-in. Like I don't think when you buy the house,
you can exclude
the wife.
I don't think you can either.
I think you could do it after y'all have bought the house.
I think that's right.
You can get a document to quit claim the interest of one or the other.
In fact, as you think about it, that's what's required many times in order to refinance.
It is.
Many times the wife has to quit claim her interest to the husband in order to get it refinanced. And then once it's refinanced, then the ownership then is spread back out again.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, they do some of that, And again, there are some waiver, every state is different.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about Tennessee.
Right.
And I know that, but there's this loan responsibility. And you can buy a house as a married man or a married woman and you don't have to have your spouse's name on it. And the financing of that house can be all in your name.
That's right. Because many times one of the parties' credit is so bad that it would drag the other one down.
Right.
So that's why a lot of times it may go into it without both parties being a part of it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's done tradition. I mean, that's done a lot.
Yeah.
And that's acceptable. But you can't do. You know, when I started reading this question, I started. Man, my back started hurting, man. I started getting tight, man. I was getting ready to start having chest pains, man.
Don't do it. The defibrillator, is it ready? I had to defibrillate you, man.
I was, because, there's a bunch of, things that, with this text, there's a bunch. Look, and I'm not, and I don't want the person that submitted this question to think that the intent is to dog them for a decision that they made. That's not the intent.
I kind of think it was the right decision to make.
Yeah,
because
if he felt it was
it's going to cause a lot of confusion in that relationship.
Yeah.
And ultimately it may fall apart because of this very thing.
Yeah.
Because look, the girl is saying, I'm not moving up in there unless my name is on there, because you can get up any time of the night and tell me I got to go.
Yeah. That is.
You have a bad night. Hey,
you ain't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. No.
So you're gonna put my name on there, otherwise I'm not moving into the place. So it can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. I see that dilemma now that you say it that way. So, but what I was really backing into, Jerome, is that, hey, that's a decision you make.
That's right.
And if you're comfortable with that decision, it becomes a decent decision.
Absolutely.
That's the decision you make.
And so there are a lot of times, these things are fluid. So at the time, it was the right thing to do because of the situation. And that's why we talk about it in the law. Every situation in the law is fact specific.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
based on that question right there, I believe that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And so, and then because her girlfriends are telling, girl, you're a fool.
Yeah, they are.
He got that big old house over there. Your name ain't on it. So dude is under a lot of pressure. Oh man, he's under a lot of pressure to perform. So rather than having an issue before you get married,
but
just do it.
Yeah, but here's all those things though, Jerome. Here's all those things. You always, and that's the lawyer in us, unfortunately. Right. You always got to think about what becomes the worst case scenario in this situation.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, somebody gets married and one or the other has a decent amount of money.
Right.
And they're in a state that's a 50% state, and that's not Tennessee or Mississippi. Because, Mississippi, if you come in with X and it's segmented, as long as you don't commingle, it stays segmented.
Yeah.
But if you end up commingling any funds, then it becomes marital funds or marital assets.
Gotcha.
And if it's marital assets, it's got to be divided as a marital asset.
Gotcha.
And so some people either do or don't get prenups.
Right.
And
there you go. Now that's something else there that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
So maybe the prenuptial can handle the situation.
Yeah.
What they call a community property in some states like California, maybe.
Yeah.
You definitely gonna be sharing in everything,
if
right?
You ain't got no prenup in California. This on like Donkey Kong,
right?
Man. I mean, you shoot, man. It could be. And again, that's the reason why whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And I understand the whole no prenup scenario.
Right.
But if I'm 65 years old and you 35 years old, something ain't, I'm figuring that things is gonna go awry at some point, or they may or may not.
Well, again. So if you're 65 years old and your potential spouse is 35, and you know that at some point it's the possibility that you're going to need a caregiver.
Oh, she works out good.
You know what I'm saying? That may not be a bad thing.
Right.
You know, because certainly long-term care is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
And if that person has pledged to do that, that may not be a bad trade-off. You know what I'm saying? So again, fact specific. And then now let's go back to always to your scenario. If she's trifling and always has been, then don't put her name on there.
I mean,
You see what I'm saying? So it's fact specific.
yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that I really want to know, and even in this call, and that's, you know, that's what we always do. We want to talk about the facts.
Right.
Is number one, what made you decide to do it?
That's exactly right.
And number two, when did you determine, or why did you determine you don't want to be at that house anymore?
Very good, very good.
I mean, because if this is not your dream home, and you and her are going to get another home later on, then my thought process would have been to sell that home and buy a new home, and y'all both names been on it. Huh?
And see, and that's the issue too. So there, that's two things. So it's a starter home, and you're going to sell this house, and you're going to upgrade to another house, or the relationship has gotten to a point where it's going to be dissolved. Now that's the worst case scenario.
That right there, and that's the reason why you can't do this.
That's right.
You know, because if you going to break up, he's in the worst possible position.
That's exactly
that
right.
he could ever be in.
Well, I mean, look. Sometimes we just say, look, I'll just go ahead and take my stripes or my battle. I'll just go, whatever, I'll suck it up and take it, because that's the position that he's in at this point.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I think that. Is there some ways around it? Maybe. Is there some ways to fix it? Maybe.
There's always. Always.
But
that's what we do as lawyers.
But is it incredibly?
We are repairers of the breach.
But I tell you what it's going to do.
It's going to cost some money.
It's going to cost some money to do it. I tell you what it's going to do. It's going to cost some money to get it done. You know, I couldn't see the number, Angel.
Just one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just 1 minute
I
left.
can't see it. The light is right in my eye.
That's what I thought.
Hey, thank you. You got to clean me up. Hey, y'all, thank you for watching the show. We'll see you back next week.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event? Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SV